No, you... Me? Okay. No, oh, no. How about you just... I'm just gonna go. Okay. Hi. Welcome back. It's been quite a while, I know. I'm like a really lazy person, so I haven't been making videos because I do a lot of other stuff all the time. But I'm back. And you know what I thought? Why don't I just show you how I made my newest song? Instead of making a new beat, I'll show you how I made a beat. Alright? So we're gonna be going over how I made my song Scraper, which is a Bay Area inspired banger. I figure I'll tell you the backstory to this first. So this is one of those songs that comes from the era when I was interning in a studio, and what I would do is that during the day when there wasn't really anything going on, you know, unless we were setting up for a session or something, I would be in the intern office doing nothing, and I just sit there and make beats all day. And so I got into this habit of making, you know, like 3-4-ish beats a day, and then just taking one of them that I liked the most, and then when my shift was over, going into the studio, because they allowed us to do that, and just, you know, writing a song and recording it that day. So really, most of these songs that come from this era are all done in one day, and I'll insert some deep dig Snapchat footage of when I was making the song, so you can see kind of into the process of what it was like. So I'll try to put that right here, hopefully, if I can find it. Yeah, this is one of those songs that was done in a day, and as you can see from the Snapchat footage, I was having a good time doing it. Yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into this. So the first thing that I started with was actually the drums. I wanted to throw this perk in there because this is like a very Bay Area perk that people use. Everyone calls it the Jingle Bells. I think that was kind of the inspiration to get started on this, was like, I want something that has that in it. So I came up with just like the simplest drum rhythm you can think of. I mean, a lot of like older bass stuff is kind of just like bass, kick, snare, sometimes doesn't even have a hi-hat or anything, and rap. So, and I chose to film this on the day that they are mowing the lawn, of course. So I started off with this drum pattern right here. And I wanted to throw that fill at the end there just to give it something that makes it, you know, evolve and not feel the same the whole way through. I wanted to go with a very kind of aggressive bass, kind of like a bite to it. That's kind of a staple in some of the Bay Area stuff. So let me see if I can figure out where the hell this bass came from. Yeah, so this bass came out of Serum. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea where I got this preset. I would love to let you know, but I'm horrible at managing my files. So yeah, this came out of Serum. It had a ping pong delay on it, which I turned off because I just thought that was a little bit weird for your bass line to have a ping pong delay. But so then what I did was I took that and kind of high passed it, and then I put it through Decapitator. Well, I put it through Decapitator first, and then I high passed it a little bit and kind of gave it a bump in the top here, and then turned down the sides just a hair on it, because my thinking was that this would be kind of more like a top bass. This would be like kind of the thing you'd hear on the small speakers. And then I added in an 808 just to finish off the bass sound, to make a more complete bass sound, which actually makes it end up sounding almost like an electric bass, which is kind of cool to me. It was really confusing at first. I was like, I don't remember doing electric bass on this. But yeah, so where we're at now, we've got this so far. And that feels pretty good. I just wanted to add in a few more things to make it feel more kind of West Coast. So I came up with these chords, which originally I was doing Haas panning on, but I've found that when I Haas pan things, a lot of the time they will cancel. So if you listen to them in mono, they just kind of disappear. So what I ended up doing was using Echo Boy as a stereo spreader, and then I had a center and a side channel for this. So then this is the center, which doesn't have a ton of information on the sides. and then you have the side one, which has a ton of information on the sides and not much in the middle. They come together to sound like this. Those I made in also Serum, I'm pretty sure. So I did a really dumb thing, which was when I was mixing this, I removed all of the plugins, all of the VSTs, everything, because I'm stupid. But I found the preset for this. It's not gonna sound exactly how it does. I'm fairly positive what I did was I ran it through a bit crusher and then obviously the other chain. It is the Trapstar preset out of this Posty pack, which I think was also Cymatics. And it sounds like that. So I took that, then obviously put that through the processing up here, which is an instance of little altar boy with a low harmonic on it. And yeah, I'm using this Echo Boy as just a stereo spreader because it has a stereo spreader in it. So this is for the center one. You can see I have the width turned all the way down here. You can use this Echo Boy in so many different ways that you might not even think of. So then the next thing to do obviously was the lead, which sounds like this with the pad, which is what really gives it the Bay Area kind of feel. That lead also came out of Serum, and for some reason it's reading as not the preset that I used, but so I know what it is now. It's Trapstar lead. So what I did is I sent that through an auto panner, which is one of my favorite things to do. I probably overused the auto panner, but yeah, so I sent that through an auto panner. Probably also used a bit crusher on that. Again, don't really remember. Moral of the story is it ends up sounding like this. After a bunch of different stuff being done to it. Including, again, little altar boy. So it was this, but it just didn't have enough top end to really get that like West Coast kind of feel to it. So I just added a little altar boy instance with a pitch up of 12 semitones and then just like a, you know, probably 30% mix on it. And then, yeah, it's already pre-panned once it's been bounced down, as you can see from the waveform. And then, yeah, a little bit of decapitator, which I, for some reason, use on everything now. And that really does it for, like, the beat itself. Like, you know, after all said and done, you end up with this. And there's just really not much more to it. You know, it's pretty simple. The only thing left to do is to do vocals on it. And so this is another one of those ones where it's just convoluted. I've probably done, this is probably my third set of vocals I've done to this. So I did the demo vocals on it and they were all right, but you know, not enough energy. And then I came back and I did some vocals with my guy Grant, which he did a great job on. He is an awesome engineer. I just didn't like the way that I sounded on it. So I came back home and I ran my vocal through my, I mean, we used my mic. I just, that day I don't know. It sucks too because we were in the studio. We got to use the actual gear and whatever. But so I just didn't like my performance that much. I felt like I could do better. You know, obviously I kept the vocals and I wanted to see which one was better, like the one I did in the studio or one I did at home. Ended up liking the one at home better, so I just used my my CV3 over here. Ran it through my 511 right here, and then I always have an LA2A on my vocal chain coming in through console, just to, well, for one, it adds a little bit of bottom end just because it's emulating those transformers, and then for two, it's nice to have something that just when you reach a certain level just ducks it back just a dB or two. So yeah, so that's the chain coming in. And then once we get into Logic, we have my chain here, which is just, you know, Fab Filter with a few things taken out. Auto-tune, of course, even though I'm not singing. There's just something that auto-tune does to vocals that, I don't know. Maybe someone can explain it, but 1176, it's doing a bit, not a ton. Aphex, Oral Exciter, and Sibilance, which is a great plugin because this setup itself is pretty top end heavy. I mean, this is a pretty bright mic and it's a pretty bright pre. It sounds great. You get a ton of top end and a good amount of like saturation that makes it so you can hear it through the mix, but it does make for some pretty nasty sibilance. This plugin is really cool because I don't know exactly how it works, but it resynthesizes the S, so it's not just ducking the S. But I usually have this on my chain, and it really makes it so I can take that top end and push it further without having to worry about it sounding harsh. Yeah, and then it goes through my custom vocal bus again. I have a lot of compression going on. I just do compression here and there, little bits. I have a parallel channel that has an RVox on it that's pretty much pegged, and that's part of the sound. And then it comes through here, gets a little bit more compression through the SSL comp. I run it through this Pultec, but sometimes I don't even use it. I mean, I barely used it here. It's mostly just for the sound of the transformers. I use Oxide pretty often, but I guess I turned it off when I was mixing this. The Mag EQ, which has the airband on it, which is awesome. But the thing that I found is actually if you turn up the sub band, it does something weird to the vocal where it just makes it's like it emulates the proximity effect. So if you have that plugin, try that out. Try turning up the sub band. I think you're gonna be surprised with how good it sounds. And then yeah, a little bit more EQ, and that's really it. And then you just have this stack of, I got 2 doubles that both have micro shift on them, and then I have a low vocal as well.
You know I'm getting faded, some haters, just to know that I made it a scraper.
Oh yeah, and then one of the cool things that I did when I was making this is I had the idea to just accent words by just sending them through. So this track has a reverb on it, and it's fully turned to wet, and it sounds like that. But when you listen to it with the vocals,
Scraper, sitting on some date and some paper.
It really just accentuates those words. So that was a fun thing that I did kind of early on. And then when Grant and I were in the studio, we were kind of messing around. I think this was on the Eventide Ultra Harmonizer. We found a setting that was like really distorted, and that's where this vocal comes from. So I did keep some of the vocals, and this is one of them. That one is really fun. And then, oh yeah, I figure I should explain this. This little intro bit here.
Fuck off.
That was the most like organic intro I could ever want, because that was literally me in the studio recording vocals for the first version of this, for the demo version of this. I was recording vocals, and I think my headphones got caught on the chair or something, and I was like right about to cut a take, and I was trying to stand up, and I like got caught, and I was like, ah, fuck off, like let me stand up. And then I like get up to the mic and I just giggled to myself because I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you know, that's a bad, you can turn a bad situation good. Sometimes shit isn't as bad as it seems. Headphones get stuck, you get a good intro. So good intro like Chance the Rapper. And then the only thing really left to talk about is this final hook. I saw a thing with Charlie Puth where he said that every time that he has a chorus come back around, he likes to make it a little different, and I also like to do that. I generally like to add things every time it comes around. So like the second time that this chorus comes around, there is
Scraper, sitting on some date and some paper. For the times was the cake, it's a visa. You know I'm getting faded.
this just like kind of weird sounding high vocal that sits in there. And part of this whole stack too is this low vocal, which you can thank our boy Austin Chapline for suggesting, because it sounds great in there. Last hook added in just a few more things.
I need a scraper, sitting on some date and some paper. For the times was the cake, it's a visa. You know.
There's a lot going on there. I just wanted it to be like as loud and crazy as possible at the end. Another one of those things that I kept from the session with Grant that I really liked was also out of the Ultra Harmonizer. And again, I'm abusing the auto pan. And that just adds to the energy of that last chorus. And then the last little bit that just really takes it a little bit further is I just added in these little ad-libs.
Bounce, faded, this is no, oh, I made it.
And I feel like that really just kind of takes it over the top there in the end to make it really like feel energetic. You know, this is something that would be fun to perform for sure, and just get everyone in the crowd hyped. So hopefully I'll be performing live again soon. Who knows? But I think that should about do it for this. Thanks for watching. I'm actually going to start making more videos again. I spend more money than I should have on a new camera, and I got to justify it somehow, so I'm going to start making more videos and posting more photos and everything. Thank you for watching. If you want to go listen to Scraper, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, everything. You know, I want to thank you guys too. If you've already listened, if you've saved it, if you've added it to your playlist, thank you so much, because it's already at over 4,000 plays between Apple Music and Spotify, which is a lot for me. I don't usually do crazy numbers, and it's the most saved song ever on my Spotify by a good margin. It's about double my previous records, so thank you. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time, and we will talk about how I made another track. Until then, peace. Hey, you got Scraper on your phone?